I heard one presidential candidate in the last election said that we should stop doing night vigil, that we are no more productive.
A society that ought to thrive shouldn't spend the whole time in church. I've said it many times.
If the God you serve neither sleeps nor slumber, why do you have to stay awake with him at the same time?
Well, I think the night vigils are not the problem. The problem is that our society has not created such opportunities that allow people to work night and day. Because if they do, even where people work night and day, people still do night vigils. So I don't think night vigils is the problem. The problem is the opportunities that allow people to work day and night have not been created. Because in countries where people work day and night, people still do night vigils. Prayer is not a problem. It's just that the enabling environment to do those kind of jobs is yet to be created.
We spend all our time doing night vigil when we can be more productive.
I agree with him. A society that ought to thrive shouldn't spend the whole time in church. I've said it many times. That's why I said you don't need God to succeed.
Okay.
It was a whole teaching, and I was taking time to explain that what God has given you the ability to do, don't wait for him to do it for you.
Yeah.
All right? So you've got to do what you've got to do to get your society to function. There are even societies who don't even believe in the existence of God, and they're doing very well physically, economically, and otherwise. So those are the kind of things I was explaining.
Apostle Edu and Reverend Dr. Abel Damian is on the news regarding the statement made by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. Now, while we were all busy discussing about the statement made by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, I want you to know that the federal government has used 5 billion naira to renovate Vice Presidential Residence in Lagos. Now, the statement made by Mr. Peter Obi is something that is related to this particular news. And how? It is because of the fact that the government has not been able to make provision for companies, industries, and all of that is the reason why people turn to religion. And that is the simplest way I can explain that statement to you. For those of us who don't really understand and think that this was like an attack on the church, I understand the fact that there are some section of people who are saying some certain things about the church, like those that believe that the church are making so much money, like pastors and all of that. Of which, to me, I don't see anything wrong in it. Nobody forces you to pay the money, because even the government that ought to use the money you pay as tax to develop the society are stealing it. You are not even holding them accountable. So why are you talking about pastors whom are only preaching the gospel and asking you to pay tithe according to the Bible, to their own best understanding, and then you pay, and it's becoming a conversation? That is a big distraction. Now, going to what Pastor Edo said concerning this whole drama.
Last election said that we should stop doing night vigil, that we are no more productive. Sad. I was very sad. I started losing his priesthood. And when you lose your priesthood, you speak careless words. But it will sound intelligent, but it's careless. Sometimes some people don't know what is holding them up. They thought it's because they are so smart. Or maybe you are impeccable. There are 100 times more people smarter than you and more impeccable. It is God that puts hand on a man and never say or do anything that will make your mercy to live. So the man said that, how do you even say? I thought it was joke. I went outside, they saw video, saw this thing. Should I tell you what is happening to him? A spell has been cast on him. He doesn't know. A spell was cast on him. He needs to quickly run back. In my own opinion, he doesn't even know who is his real-time voters. He talks to all those social media talkatives. When it's time, they disappear. I'm telling you, I felt so sad.
Now, less for me, what Mr. Edu is saying is not something that is good at all, because if you ask me, okay, Peter Obi did not win into the general election. Who is suffering? Everybody is suffering. Now, he has the better ideal to lead this country. We all know that. Both the opposition and the ruling or Progressive Congress. They know it. Everybody knows the truth. But it is their turn to be in power. And now they are in power. Who is suffering? Everybody is suffering. Like Pastor Aboki will say, if a bag of rice tomorrow become 1 million, Peter Obi can afford it. Those of you crying cannot afford it. That is it. So, but then, this very Reverend Dr. Abel Damian, whom his preaching lately has been so much controversial, has come up to defend His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi.
I agree with him. You know, a society that ought to thrive shouldn't spend the whole time in church.
And I believe that in this particular clip that you've just watched, that should have settled the whole of this drama, because he has already explained in totality what Peter Obi meant in that statement that he made.
Basic education. And that is what is lacking here. We've not been able to train people properly to have proper education that will make them conduct themselves properly, be productive. Because we live largely in a very unproductive society. You know, Nigeria is not producing anything. The only thing that that's why the only thing that is attractive here is politics and church.
But, you know now, Nigerians, we don't listen to understand. Those sentiments, you cannot stop night vigil. You can't even try it. How about now? Nobody is stopping night vigil. So the matter is that nobody is stopping night vigil. Just that we just need to have more companies and be more productive. That is what Mr. Peter Obi is talking about. And that the government need to do better. And if they do that, people will not be opening, you know, going to airports to sing and pray in the morning. People will not be praying so hard early in the morning when they are supposed to be in their offices and all of that. People should not be praying when they are supposed to be working at 12:01 noon. People should not be closing their market, business shops, as of the time they are supposed to open to sell business. They are busy praying. There is time for everything. And the Bible made us to understand that. In my submission, let's not be distracted by this statement. Let's face the reality and hold those who are actually destroying our society to account. Thank you for watching.
Don't go to a place and seize land where we won't allow that. We will not allow that. It's not for lawlessness. If you don't know what to do, then we'll teach you what you don't do. Thank you.
What can we do, sir? What can we do, sir?
Thank you, sir. We are not land grabbers. We are developers. Developers, what about developers? We have
papers, sir.
We have submitted this paper to the authority. Verifiable. Hold on. Yes, sir.